Now's about the time that they need to start having, like, they're already pinging it. They need to have wards there. They should have had a ward before. They don't have a ward now. And there's quite a big chance that Rumble could just be baiting here. And they can be doing, oh, no, there's Chu, see? And yeah, they're not doing Baron, but they do need to have a ward there. Because at this point, a Baron could actually be extremely difficult for them to counter. Looks like Rumble here possibly coming up from the side. There's Rumble going to get caught up position. A nice bandage toss there from Amumu. Amumu crying Rumble down, but Rumble not taking very much any damage with that Force of Nature. They're using that, though, to actually go ahead and take out Dragon here. Bryden having to use his stun there to keep Cho from actually initiating. And now Rumble chasing after Elements. Elements taking quite a bit of damage there. There goes Ignite. Elements is going to be able to get taken down. However, there goes Rumble. And looking for the Nocturne ulti. It does not happen. Nice little stun there from Bryden, keeping them back. So it's 1-1 there. And now they're just having their little tango here middle. Little bit of stun there on B-Man. B-Man taking just a slight amount of damage, just not much AP. There goes Chu though, initiating on Yoga Chu. Here comes Bruce Sleep from the side, going to go on Dyrus. Nope, there's a nice ultimate from Amumu, taking 3 of them in the 3 or 4 in the actual ultimate. And now this is back and forth little struggle here. B-Man getting caught off position yet again. Yoga Chu using his banded touch there on Mordecai. And now B-Man actually getting caught in this ultimate. However, not taking as much damage because of his Hex Attack Drinker. And look at all this poke back and forth from backside teams. The poke from Team AP would be so much more effective if they just had more, obviously magic penetration, just due to the fact that look how much AP magic resistance they're all building. 142, 150. So much. Yogachu actually out of position here. Chu having to force a flash away. However, he is ignited to possibly get a kill off. There goes Chu. However, there goes V-Man jumping on top of Yogachu. Yogachu looks like he is going to actually be able to get away. Looking for, I thought perhaps Nocturne was going to Q and possibly take out Yogachu with that Q. Yogachu quickly backing. Dyrus is now on a killing spree, 5-1, 5-1-4. Doing quite well. Dyrus saying, you know what's funnier than trolling your own team? Trolling your own team than winning. Which is quite true. It's now 16-16. They're only down in towers and dragons, unfortunately. Viger just saying, we aren't going to win. Just completely not having faith in Team AP, which is quite disappointing. Although Viger does get bottom tower. Viger with the first tower. Yogachu coming over here does not have a ward to actually place there at Baron, which is quite unfortunate. Looks like we're going to tank Rumble. Viger has 1 tower, guys. We lose. Van Viger, you need to have more tower kills, WTF. Sleeping coming in here, going Triforce Mordekaiser. An interesting build. I don't play Mordekaiser too much, so I don't know if that's something common. But I do see a lot of AP, Gunblade Mordekaisers. Rumble there pushing forwards. And now we see a Rod of Ages. There goes Bryden there, doing some damage and not really taking any, though. Mordekaiser just simply shrugging it off, coming middle. AP Sona there. Almost has her Triforce and just pushing them back here. But look, I mean, both teams just not taking any damage. We did see Nocturne actually start coming here. You see they did ping it. There's a little bit of damage there on Mordekaiser. Them having to back off just slightly. Because now here comes Rumble. And they need to really watch out for Chu actually to initiate on top of them. They're pretty, if you notice, they're kind of focusing Chu there a lot, trying to pop that little Banshee spell, make sure that Chu does not have that once he does initiate. There's the stun from Bryden. Bryden getting some little damage there, but man, Rumble just not taking any of that. Yogachu going in there, does bandage toss, is going to look for the ultimate, probably wants to get Nocturne in. However, Nocturne, there it is. There's the ultimate that he was looking for. There goes Rumble's ultimate there. And V-Man taking a lot of damage. However, Yogachu is taking a ton of damage. Well, he is the tank. And there goes Bruce Lee going in there. Elements is going to be taken out. V-Man does die as well, though. And that was not very pretty. Now Rumble actually chasing Bryden there. Getting the stun off on Rumble there. Rumble just saying, whatever, I'm just going to chase you down underneath this tower. Wait, no, I'm not going to back off. That tower hurts a lot. In the middle, they're taking out middle tower. However, it looks like they possibly are going to get the kill off on, yeah, it looks like Rumble is trying to bait so that he could actually take out Bryden, but not going to have it. There's the Ignite, and now Rumble is actually going to go down. However, they didn't lose middle tower, so it's just not looking well at all for Team AP, unfortunately. But it is quite an entertaining game here. Very close on kills. And now Bryden in a lot of trouble. There goes Chu. Chu coming here, looking to toss. Oh, it's going to miss his ultimate damage there. And now Dyrus is a little bit of trouble there, taking quite a bit of harassment. Bryden forced to go back. Yogachu coming here, possibly looking for a team fight. However, only Elements is really in a place, as well as Salse. Yogachu coming here does now support Abyssal Scepter, so it has a little bit of AP resistance. Is going to be plopping down a ward, most likely right here. Yep, there it is. And then it's going to be putting down a Vision ward, a pink ward, at Baron. We can still win, just believe in yourself. Wasn't he just saying that he wasn't going to win? I'm pretty sure earlier. Where was it? We are going to win. There's Viger right there, and now he's saying we can win. We just got to believe in ourselves. This guy is like the most bipolar person emo I've ever seen. Bryden coming in here, as well as Yogachu, Dyrus, and Elements. Looking to possibly snipe Baron. I don't know with this team. Nope, they're going to go ahead and go top. Get off V-Man. V-Man looking also to build Triforce. Dyrus coming in here, slowing V-Man. Getting a nice silence off there. Here goes Elements. And there's the ultimate from Elements. And Elements gets the kill on V-Man. However, in the meantime, looks like Chu's team was coming up from behind. However, they are now out of position. Do not have their tanky V-Man anymore, and looks like they may, line up for a gank here. 4v5 though, they probably are not going to lose. However, Elements does not have his ultimate, so they're probably in a better state. We're looking to possibly get Baron. Okay, here it comes. Yeah, they're like they want to do Baron with what? They got 5 AP essentially. Gonna rely pretty much on Sauce doing all that damage. They're actually doing pretty well there. However, here comes the team. A ultimate from Mamumu. Oh man, Brute Chu getting Yogachu, but the enemy team just melting Team AP. Look at that damage. Only team that really losing is Bruce Lee. And Dyrus gets the steal off on Baron. That was quite nice, man. Did you see that? He like freaking null sphered and then ultimated away. That was pretty crazy. However, they do have 3 still up here, and they're going to be pushing him in. I'm not sure how much one Cassidy with Baron buff is going to be able to do here. And it was pretty much a mistake, but it was kind of like a desperate Baron. Pushing them in here. Man, I'm the best. Taking Baron. You know what's funny? I say steal Baron, but it was their Baron to begin with. They were the ones actually doing it. They actually were going to lose Baron. It wasn't enough for the fact that he went in there and retook Baron. So Chu here destroying an ally turret, now choosing to back away. Dyrus coming here doing a little bit of harassment, not very much though, on Mr. Tanky Rumble. I am choosing to silently yawn, and now looks like enemy team is going to go for, yeah, they're going to go for Dragon. Dyrus here now sporting, of course, Void Salve, 1 Blasting Wand, a Tear of Goddess, and a Catalyst. So trying to go for heavy mana, making sure that he can flash away, with his ultimate as much as possible. Bryden here now farmed up to 283 AP, which is quite low. It's extremely low, no death cap, nothing like that. And which I don't, really blame him. He hasn't had a lot of time, to farm too much as opposed to the enemy team, as well as the fact that an entire AP team, But I wish I could see his gold, actually, see how much gold he actually has right now. Getting some few kills off there on those minions. And most likely he's going to be trying to save it for a death cap at this point. Some people may think, well, why aren't you going, Archangel Staff? There we go, could not speak. And the reason is just simply because that it's probably one of the worst AP items right now. And it's probably one of the items that you want to save for at the very last. There's just much better items that you can invest in. Although the tier itself is quite a good item. So it's kind of this give and take. You get the tier, but you don't actually upgrade it to the max version. Dyrus, they're taking out all of their Banshee Veils with a simple little Force Pulse there, level 5. And now Amumu actually catching Mordekaiser out of position. Need to be careful here, though. Here comes Amumu getting close. There's the ultimate off on V-Man. However, there's a nice ultimate from Solace. Mordekaiser getting taken down, but 1-for-1. And Bruce Lee just completely destroying Solace. And then possibly getting away here. But Dyrus is most likely going ultimate. There's the ultimate there. There's the false person. Is going to actually take him out there with Bryden's help. Bryden now in a lot of actual trouble. He's trying to just move around in the circle. But he's going to get queued here. There's Bryden going down. And now we have Maokai actually going after Elements. Elements are going to be taken down. And Dyrus having to actually use his ultimate to get away here. Dyrus saying, man, I need death cap, which is true. They really do need death cap. I mean, 255 AP versus this much magic resistance is just not going to do enough. And now Grunts and V-Men are actually going to, Gruntaz, sorry. That just looks like Grunts. Are going to be able to take out that bottom turret. Top turret is actually being pushed, though, by the allied AP minions. And Dyrus is, again, getting some more farm. He has his Archangel staff now. And it looks like he is now going to be having a Cage Lucky Pick just to try to build up the AP as much as possible. Dyrus does still have just Lost Baron buff. Trying to actually take out Jarvan before he goes over the wall. Waiting for it. There it is. And it actually gets over the wall. Dyrus choosing not to chase. Where's the ulti, Amumu? It is on cooldown, as you can see. All mid. We will win. They still have all their towers mid. This is a pretty funny game to watch. Chu going in there on Yogachu. Using his ultimate there. Punching Bryden. Waiting for that Nocturne ulti. There's the Nocturne ultimate. However, he's now out of position a little bit. Taking some damage there. Here comes from the side. We have Mordekaiser pushing in on Salse. And Yogachu taking more damage. However, V-Man getting exploded upon. Going to get taken out there. There goes Bryden, however. And Mordekaiser now chasing out Yogachu. Element's getting taken out as well. And Dyrus now trying to slow. But look at this Mordekaiser. This Mordekaiser's like beast, trying to take both of them on, getting kited, but does end up going down. Dyrus having to get pushed back now. Dyrus is godlike, despite the fact that their whole entire base is now belonging to the enemy team. He's doing quite a good job. Cassinan is extremely slippery, but this is a pretty entertaining game. Dyrus getting a lot of damage. Dyrus is going to get taken out possibly. Oh no, Dyrus gets away. Dyrus. But now there's the super minion spawn, and Rumble there pushing Yogachu and Salsa away. You cannot kill me, I am God. Wow. Thinking a little bit too much of yourself, Dyrus? But looks like Fiendish Codex next. They're going to be actually going for a death cap. Still just 277 AP, not too much. Triforce now done for 80 Salse. And we also have Negatron, Cloak, and Ruby Callisto going to be building that into a Banshee spell most likely. Dyrus coming in here into the jungle, probably to get Wraiths. Bryden here now finally supporting a needlessly large rod, sitting at 344 AP. Quite good. However, Dyrus finding the enemy team to be actually in his jungle and getting taken out by Bruce Lee's. No, fuck. You failed me. That is what happens when you go into your own jungle after being pushed into your inhibitor with no wards to try to take, I guess, red, and just getting what the fuck pwned. Salsa here trying his best to micro and actually take out this giant minion. On a side, completely unrelated note, guys, I've been actually analyzing the new Dominion trailer for the new mode. Oh, hey, by the way, looks like, oh, there we go, reposition. Bryden actually getting taken out by Chu, trying to farm those creeps. It's not looking very good here for Team AP. Dyrus help. Dyrus is, of course, dead for 10 more seconds. But on a unrelated note, there we go. That's better. On an unrelated note, there is a couple of minions. Oh, there's so much fighting. I can't talk about what I want. Elements getting ignited is going to get taken out. How Yogachu actually getting the Mordekaiser. Grunt's actually being the one. Gruntaz going to be the one. Here comes Salso trying to micromanage against it. Having to back away, though, as Rumble doing lots of damage. Looking for the E. Oh no, V-Man's just going to Demacia right on top of that. Now Yogachu's in trouble, getting pushed back. And they are just going to go up here and just take out this top turret with no problem. Dyrus actually having to be forced back as well. Now we won't group up. Noob team. Going all AP and then calling a team noob. I don't feel that is necessary, obviously, seeing as AP team as begin with is a troll team. Rumble now coming down here bottom to get off these bottom creeps and move towards this tower, kill this tower. Does get bandage shots though from Yogachu. Having to force to get away, is actually going to be taken out by Dyrus yet again. Dyrus now moving down here bottom, going to try to be taking out Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee nicely timed little anti-magic shield there, and now going to be fighting Dyrus. However, look at that damage. V-Man coming in here, knocking up. Now Bryden is in so much trouble. Bryden's going to get taken out. That was a big bait. Yeah, he knows it. That was a big bait. Dyrus bait. His own team baited him to get killed. But yeah, what I was saying was, you see these super minions right there? If you actually watch the new trailer for Dominion, which is the new mode that Riot's going to be putting out for League of Legends, there is a trace of what looks like to be a super minion in the game. However, there's no actual appearance that there is super inhibitors. Sorry, there's inhibitors right now, super inhibitors. There's no actual indication that there actually is inhibitors in the game, which would indicate that those minions are just extra minions that don't look like normal Canyon minions. However, on another side note, they said that Promote was going to be coming back in the game. Now, for those of you who don't know, Promote is actually where a summoner spell, where someone actually takes a minion and promotes it into a more advanced minion. It takes less damage, it does more damage, and I believe it also taunts towers. So that could have very well be a, yeah, looks like they just got Baron there. V-Man pushing bottom here. It could very well be, they're not going to surrender, a promote version of a super minion with a new animation, because it actually looks different than when it was in beta. So go ahead, guys, if you want to go check that out, go look at the trailer and just pay attention to the minions that come up, and you'll notice that there's this really fast minion that looks like a super minion, but on closer inspection you can tell that it's actually quite different. So 41 minutes in the game, 27 to 33 here. Dyrus 11, 2 and 7. However, unable to carry Team AP by himself. Quite apparent. We now have a Banshee spell finished off for Salse, and if we take a moment here to pause and look at the game stats, we have 153 creep kills for Vigar, 191, 198, 114, and 99 versus 258 from Chu. Man, Mega Farmer. 186 for Mordekaiser, 207 for Nocturne, 184 for Jarvan, and 130 for Rumble. So definitely a lot more farm on this team, as well as of course Baron and Dragon. So just out farming them, and of course out APing them. Just in the simple fact that 5 AP not so great. Maybe they can try 5 support next. Brian actually having to force flash away, make sure to get out of that ultimate from Rumble there. Chu actually coming here middle, killing their middle inhibitor yet again. Yogachu trying to get something to actually happen. Oh, there's a nice little bandage stuff waiting for the ultimate. There's the ultimate there. They got to focus down the DPS. Bruce Lee doing so much damage there. Bruce Lee getting taken out. And look, they just 3 people from the enemy team just now got down. V-Man has destroyed bottom allied turret though. Dyrus got a double kill. So now Dyrus is 13, 2 and 8. Salse now having to back away. Chu was attempting. Oh, Chu actually got Bryden. And looked like he was trying to go for Charles as well. Cassin is saying, you can't win. There's no way. There's no way you can win. I mean, look at this. Look at this base. Look at this base. How could you win? How could they possibly lose? I mean, look at how in the world could Team AP lose against all this? It's incredible. So Dyrus coming here, getting some nice farm. At this point, he will be getting a death cap, most likely. But they also could probably get some defensive items. But why would he get defensive items if he hasn't been focused and he can't, he easily could get away? Those are the two mindsets. He only has 260 gold, so it doesn't really matter anyways. He's trying to farm up his R there and ensure that there is enough charges on it so that it does maximum damage there. Farming Rift up to 4. Next Rift up will cost more mana and deal additional damage. He has just a little bit of time left, but there's a Rift Walk for 5. And going to be Rift Walking for 6. Doing some great damage there. I think it was a 600 Rift Walk, which is pretty nice. It's doing 320 damage with an extra 120 additional damage per charge, I believe. I don't actually play Castellan, so I have a hard time gauging how much damage it's going to be. He's up to 9 Rift Walks now. He's possibly going for 10. Yeah, 10 Rift Walks. 10 Rift Walks costing him 1,000 mana per cast, which is pretty insane. There's the 10th Rift Walk, taking a whole chunk of his mana away. He can no longer Rift Walk anymore. And it's just keeping... Oh, he lost his charges. He's having to build those up again. Here they come middle. Dyrus continuing to build up his charges to do maximum damage when he goes in. He's looking for one effective really big Rift Walk to do a lot of damage. Waiting for the ultimate from Yogachu. Here comes Yogachu getting the ultimate, immediately taking out Bruce Lee, taking so much damage. There goes Grunts. Maokai taking a lot of damage there. Yogachu going to be taken down. B-Man takes him out. However, look, coming back here, Bryden doing a lot of damage, taking out freaking Vigar. Now Salt's having to back away. And here comes Chu yet again to take out Elements. Elements does not get taken out. However, Rumble does get taken out, and Maokai gets taken out as well. And look at this. Elements triple kill. They just aced the team. And there's 2 of them left. Now they just need a victory march all the way down this lane. But oh no, they can't, because their entire base is overrun with creeps. Fountain heal is OP when you're trying to kill this base, and they just keep cycling back up here and healing up. I would agree very much. If you don't kill them, they run back to the base. Minion Dyrus. Apparently saying the minion is better than Dyrus, or Dyrus is better than minion. Elements now sporting double buff. He now has his death cut, having 541 AP. It's a lot of damage. And more mana there for Dyrus, going Sapphire Crystal. Perhaps he's going to go Lich Bane. I don't know. Still farming up his ultimate even more. Nothing new there. And they are just holding on by the skin of their teeth. This game has gone on 45 minutes. Such a long game in League of Legends. You know, that's one thing. I can't wait to actually cast Dominion games, because they're actually going to be a little less time. So you can actually spend less time there and get a really fun, fast game, which should be quite good to actually watch. For those of you that don't know, with Dominion, there's 5 capture points. With those 5 capture points, the only way to damage the enemy Nexus is to hold those capture points. While you hold those capture points, it does more and more damage. And the estimated time for a game to take is about 20 minutes, which is a far cry from the 46+ minute games that we're looking at right now. Those are just like more random facts for you guys. Elements now coming up here top, clearing out top creekways extremely fast, taking those out. And they just gotta hold on to these 2 Nexus towers. Wait for the inhibitors to come back up, kill them, and then push mid. So here we go. Possibly in yet another team fight. Dyrus again farming up his R, waiting for that crucial moment where we can go in with R and do a billion damage. Grentaz here pushing them back. And really, oh, there's Dyrus doing his ultimate, instantly using all of his mana, having to charge it back up yet again. And now Yogachu coming here, missed the bandage toss, and there is a mistimed Salt's ultimate. Look, he even knows it. He's like, oh man, I can't believe I did. They only hit one of them. Here comes Bruce Lee here, trying to take out the Nexus Tower. This Nexus Tower taking a lot of damage. Gruntaz coming in here, taking decent damage there, going for a Gunblade and Abyssal Scepter, I just noticed. And now Brian having to be forced back there. And yeah, there looks like there's the ultimate from Gruntaz there, taking good damage on 2 of their main AP dealers. And then Yogachu there, almost getting feared, but it's not. Does tantrum, but Bruce Lee looks to make sure that doesn't happen. He's trying to wait for his ultimate. You see, he still has his ultimate. He's trying to get them all grouped up so they can just insta-give him. And this looks... Oh, it was so close to an actual group. But look, there's the last tower getting taken out. Oh! Nice ultimate from Elements there. There goes Yogachu to check out. But Dyrus finally dies, getting taken out. And Chu just destroying him. Dyrus little minion coming up here. Now being brought back. And does die here. And now their Nexus is exposed, unfortunately. However, they're, again, forced to go back. Brian's going to carry this game with in-game. No, save the game. Save the game. Look, no. Salt's going to get taken out there by Chu. And now Bryden getting checked out as well. And look, there's going to be the GG. Elements cannot Save it, and... Oh! Almost killing Rumble there at the end. There's the game. GG. That was pretty funny to watch. Team 5 of 2K ELO Plus players playing full AP. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this game. It was quite an interesting game, to say the least. And if you enjoy these type of games, let me know. I can cast more of these. I'm also working on a couple of Summoner subscriber Synapse episodes as well. And yeah, stay tuned for those. This is Spunkify out. I'll see you guys later.